Hey everyone, Sarah C with Full Circle Healing Teas and Tarot. So today I'm doing the second installment of hashtag 13 Nights of Sawain. And today's topic is share a cherished story or wisdom from someone that's passed away. So being a psychic medium, I've had plenty of these experiences, so I didn't have to reach too far for these. A lot of them are personal, and I can't share them, unfortunately. But one in particular stands out, and I was living with my mom and stepdad at one point years ago in Florida. And my brother's energy was like insane. I mean, his ashes was up in my mother's closet. I had it on a little thing around my neck, the whole nine. Anyway, I spoke to him all the time. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm in my room. I go out to the kitchen to make something to eat, I think it was. I go back in my room and all I can smell is Drakkar Noir. That was my brother's favorite and only cologne that he ever wore that I was aware of. And it wasn't just, a little whiff of it. It was like, when somebody just first sprays cologne or perfume, kind of choking on it, you gotta walk away, let it wear off a little bit. It was very strong. There was no doubt in my mind that was him. He wanted me to know he was there. He wanted my parents to know he was there. There's one in particular, I guess I'll throw it out there. Maybe this will give me the confidence to keep pushing forward on this one. People come to me out of the blue on occasion, and it could be anything from coming across a Facebook post of somebody that passed away, and there they are telling me this and that. And I had, I'm having a difficult time with this one. It's emotional. So this young lady tragically died, and she told me that it wasn't done at her hands, it was done at somebody else's, contradictory to the story that is out there, and it's a pretty big one. So I reached out to the state trooper that was handling her case, and kind of as far as I got, kind of chickened out. I've had other people verify my visions and what I saw and heard, because they got the same thing I did. So wish me luck on that one. I keep her picture in my phone so that I can have the courage to reach out, because it's a scary thing. Think about doing something like that. I could not be believed. I could be ridiculed, chased away, banned for life. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just coming out of my proverbial broom closet the last few years. I want to stir up some So that's one huge thing that's happened over the last couple of years. I know I've been sitting on this for a couple of years. I did reach out, and I really need to reach out again. So I'm glad I'm talking about this. My gosh, I've had everything from friends. I've had warnings. Extended family members. You can get the real truth out of people, because if they're like, you're the only one who can hear me, I'll go ahead and tell you, and kind of like throwing it up in my face kind of thing. Like, I could tell the person what they said, the person that's living that they're talking about, I could tell them, and they'd be like, yeah, okay. They're either not going to believe me, they'll be hurt, or, but I deal with some sketchy people, and I read people real well, and after they die, man, I don't want to talk to these people, and they just took me a while to get those boundaries up real high. I get messages all the time from my own personal family. My children's father, when he passed away, he would come to me at night and whisper things in my ear. That was a bug out, let me tell you. I could feel his breath like right here, and I'd hear him, and and you feel it. It's like, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Even though I've been seeing ghosts since I was like yay big, doesn't mean I enjoy them. Scares the shit out of me a lot of the time, but I've seen them for years. I lived in a house with a dude. I was renting a room out of his house in Florida, and he had a couple of hang-arounders. There's a gentleman in the 50s. He had this cool hat and the suit, he was a businessman, and yeah, he was stuck there. And then there was another accident in the garage with a young kid and a motorcycle, and he was stuck there. And a lot of tragedy. A lot of tragedy. I'm not the Long Island medium. I get things how I get things. Sometimes spirits are pushy, and I'll be channeling for someone in particular, and somebody else will push their way in. And that's how I found out the night I was channeling about the young lady I was talking about, the thing. Well, that same night in the house that I was living in before the one I just moved into a few years ago. Okay. So I get a vision of a woman in my bathtub, and she is not well, think the worst. So she needed to get her message across at the same time I was talking to this young lady, so I was getting cross messages. Like, I had never experienced anything like that. So the person I was talking to about the young lady, I'm like, did she blah, blah, blah? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, why am I seeing this then? And then I realized it's a totally different person. And that person lived in my house that I was living in. The energy was disgusting in there. It made me ill. It made me physically ill. Anyway, another long story. I have a lot of history. I have a lot of experiences. And doing a lot of them alone was quite interesting. But yeah, man, I get messages all the time. Unless I'm blocked off. Like, if I'm wicked stressed out, I shut down. It's like a protection thing, ADHD, PTSD, that kind of thing. I got all that, and it's a defense mechanism. So when I'm overloaded and I'm taking on too much, it's like I shut down. It's like, okay, we got to regroup now. So anyway, yeah, but sometimes people pop in. I try to be very careful, protecting my circle, protecting the spirits, energies, loved ones that are coming through, that there's nothing nasty coming through and all that. So wow, a little 3-minute video turned into a lot longer. But this is great. So, and weirdly enough, we have an 80-degree weather today on the 20th of October in the upstate South Carolina. It's busy. It's crazy. Ah. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps my channel grow. Until next time, blessed be.